Hey, Coach. So excited you found us. A couple things. First of all, down below, um, you will find the complete video of wintheseason.com. It's free. You can go down, register, and get the handouts and get the video and everything that I'm talking about in wintheseason.com. So just check down below and have a great day. Bye.
Then finally, you have to prepare
Yeah.
a lot. Look, a lot of coaches like, hey, I need to worry more about us than our opponents. I was like, I always got that, but you know what? That is extremely important. But also at the same time, if you have no idea what you're about to face, that's gonna you need to go in with a game plan, and you can't game unless you're the more talented, more skilled, more experienced team. You need to have a game plan for different teams on your program.
100% agree. I worry about my team more. 100%
Yep.
agree. But I am not going in not knowing what they're going to do. I am not going in not knowing how we are going to counter this. I am not going to go in. I am not going to do that to my players and not be able to look them in the face and say,
Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
I have spent the time. Part of this is I want them to feel comfortable. Hey, they're probably will people throw twists at you? 100%.
Yeah.
But I can tell you it's 95% of the time it's predictable. This is what they're going to do. Here's how we're going to counter it. We've worked on it. The 5%, yeah, but it doesn't happen as much as you would think. So these are some of the scouting reports. But what I will give to the guys is I give, and over on the side, I'll give them some big keys. Here are the three things.
They don't
They
need
are
to
going
know
to
everything we know. They don't need to know everything we know.
No, I need to know it.
Yeah.
So part of the scout is for me, right? Because I need to know everything. My scout, the scout I give them is about a page or two. The
Yeah.
scout that I have in my little black binder I take to practice or take to the thing is
Yeah.
probably 15 to 20 pages long.
Because
I
again,
need to
it's
know
like their view is on the court. They're like this. Us
that.
on
Right.
we've got to be able to back up and see the whole canvas and
I'll
what's going on.
yes, I'll give you an example. Like our first tournament game last year, we needed to score off of this one kind of zoom look. We needed to keep them out of the paint and close out on threes, and we needed to rebound like our lives depended on it because they were strong football guys. That's all I talked to them for 10 days about.
Mhm.
This. Now, were there nuances? Were there other things that I knew I was going to
Mhm.
have to do and move the pieces of the checkerboard or the chessboard? Absolutely. But they didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
They didn't need to know that at all. So these are, and again, the middle one is some things that I've thought about that I think are helpful for you.
Mhm.
I gave you some of our generic play. You use them. Feel free to use them. I hope they're helpful. Let me know if they help you. But it's you got to put some time in. Crossover is a wonderful thing. Film breakdown's a wonderful thing, but eyes watching film, there's nothing better
And
than.
it's something my mentor always said. He's like, John, he's like, not everyone does this. Not everyone
No.
travels because we'd all I'd ride with him sometimes, go pick up film from someone else, and you remember the day doing that as well before huddle. And it was like, some coaches, they didn't like the opponent that we were about to face, so they would deliver the tape to us.
Right.
And but he's like, you'd be surprised how many coaches don't spend the time watching film and going to get tape.
Yeah. And what I've given you,
Your players can see this is where they can really they can see they know if you're prepared or not.
right? They know you're prepared. And some of you are thinking, I'm 4 points within this team or something. You can get wins on quick hitters, on out of bounds plays, on end of game situations, on scouting. Those are places that you as the coach can make the difference. You can make the difference, not the players. You can have that quick hitter. You can have that play that maybe will get Johnny the open three. You can be ready for the end of the game situations. That's where you can make the difference. I think that's some of the big things. All right, let's move it on. We're keeping him here a long time, Coach.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So to recap, framework number 2, game planning. So you have your practice setup, end of game situations, scouting, and analysis. We got a lot of good handouts on scouting and stuff. Again, all the handouts you guys see are going to be at the very end of this. So the last framework, handling challenges, and again, this is the one that this is stuff that's not always in your control. Now, if you set up your culture and your everything, you can control a little bit of this, but some of it's not. So the first one's injury management. academic balancing, right, and motivation techniques, because it's a long. This sport is a grind, and it's like you got to keep your players ready to play all of the time. So, talk about injury, Coach. What do you guys do to manage injuries and even prevent them? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. There you go. Still muted.
That's me. It's all. I always forget to unmute at the end when I'm drinking my coffee. I'm trying to keep my voice ready for you guys. Couple things. First of all, I don't know if I did a very good job last year, to be honest with you, because
sometimes it's just out of your control. How many times? Yeah.
Sometimes it's just bad luck.
Yeah.
So injury prevention. Couple things. First of all, on the next slide, we'll talk about getting in shape. They have to be in shape. Yeah. But I have done my research. Sleep. Number one thing for injury prevention is sleep. Number one thing. I
think I'm a big podcast guy, Coach, but I think sleep is the number one performance enhancing drug for anybody, player, coach, anyone.
You have to sleep. You have to sleep. You have to sleep. So sleep, nutrition, conditioning, strength. I put the first thing in here. Couple studies done that show ankle braces do not weaken the ankles. Ankle braces stop twists from being as bad as they were. Again, I told you, my best shooter has an ankle sprain. He had braces on. Guarantee he'll probably be ready in a couple weeks. The other guy had braces on. He's a football player. Worst sprain my trainer has seen in probably 10 years. He will probably be ready after 6 weeks. It would have probably been months if he hadn't had his braces on. What the braces do is they work like an airbag, okay? They stop the severity, okay? They might not stop you from breaking your, sternum, but they're going to slow it. No one plays in our program. No one steps foot on a court without ankle braces or being taped. No one. No one plays in the NBA without getting taped or ankle braces. No one plays Division I athletics without ankle braces or getting taped. Yeah. So that's what I tell them. I said, you're going to all want to play college basketball. You're not. No, you're going to get taped. And I let him get taped on game days because it's a little looser. Yeah. Okay, I'll let that happen. But the bigger part is conditioning. And the bigger part is this is where communication with the parents and talking. I put one of the conditioning programs. I have tons of them. I can share some other ones with you too if you want. And I told my guys, I said, we have 8 practices. I can't get you in shape in 8 practices. Yeah. I said, you have to be in shape when you come. So here's what you have to do when I can't. All I can do is open the gym up. You need to do these things to get in shape. That's you, not me, you. So part of that is that discussion about it. And then nutrition. Taco Bell isn't food, guys. I'm sorry. I know you love your Taco Bell and Taco John's, but that ain't food. So we have a discussion. I bring a nutritionist in to talk to my guys. And here's what we do. And here's what you should be eating. How much protein do you have? And what kind of recovery? And I'm going to tell you, when we play back to back, I dealt with this early in my career when we play on Friday and then play on Saturday. They eat in the locker room before they leave on Friday. We play Friday, Saturday, back to back, the first weekend of tournament. They don't leave the locker room until I've seen they've eaten. And they've had the glass of milk. They've had the apple. They've had the nuts or whatever they can have. Yeah. They've had the turkey sandwich. I have to replenish them in an hour before the end of competition if I want that back in within 24 hours. I've talked to scientists. I've talked to nutritionists. I'm not sending them home because I don't know what they're going to do when they get home.
It's really kind of something, you actually bring in a nutritionist to speak to the team.
Right.
And I know there's like some legalities there of what we can say, what to eat, not eat, stuff like that. So, but when they're hearing it from a professional, it's like, hey, you need to get protein in. You guys need tons of carbs. You guys, your metabolism at that age is, way up here. It's like, And
I said, you can put in cruddy gasoline and the car will run, or you can put in really good gasoline and the car will probably run a little bit better. Yeah. You are 18 years old. Does it matter?
Yeah.
5 to 10%. That could be the difference between winning and losing.
It's funny. I remember someone was talking about Chicago. It was John Sally talking about the Chicago Bulls when he came there in the 90s. That was the first time. It's like, I played for Detroit and all these other teams. I came to Chicago and they were, bringing in, high quality food meals, like, wherever else, we're just getting fast food, and it's a big thing. And now everyone does it. So
Because they found the scientists, they
yeah,
saw the studies and they saw the science behind it.
yeah,
Again,
yeah,
there's some of you are youth coaches too. There's a difference between eating McDonald's and eating Chipotle.
yeah,
Like, you're on the road, let's eat the best that we can.
yeah,
I get it. Like, I mean, I've had to do that. I'm
yeah,
trying to eat better, and
yeah,
so there's spectrums of Subway's probably better than 3/4 pounders,
yeah,
whatever. It's like there's spectrums of what you can get into your body.
yeah.
All right.
So the second bucket here is academic balancing, and this is
Yeah.
one. If your kids don't have the grades, they can't play.
And
But
I'll make this one short. Here, I'm going to just tell you what we do, because I think it's been pretty successful. And I gave you a copy of this. We call them Tuesday reports. They go out to the teachers on Tuesdays. They're just a way for me to track. I have their grades. I can look on a computer and see their grades in 3 seconds. This is another touch point. Coach knows how much I love touch points.
Mhm.
So here's what we do. They take this around to every one of their teachers on Tuesday. The teachers sign it. I want to know how they're doing in class. I want to know if they're participating. I want to know what their behavior is. And again, I haven't had any problems with this, but this is something like, hey, he's on his phone. He's not paying attention. He's showing up late to class. Whatever it is, those little things, I want to know those so I can have a discussion about, hey, there's a correlation between what you're doing in the classroom and what you're doing here. And we do this in our youth program all the way down to 6th grade. I think we don't do it for elementary level. And they have to take it to their teacher, and then they have to bring it, and then they have to take it home and have their parents sign it, so their parents know that we're tracking it. I just want that touch point. And usually it's me joking, hey, you got to be in so-and-so's English class. Come on, you're not reading the book.
Mhm.
I've read that book, blah, 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 blah. And then you can joke with them, and you can do better. I know you're an A student in this. How can we get that up? What can I do to help? Blah, 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 blah. So I just gave you this. Use it as if you want. It's some sort of foundation to just have another touch point with your athletes. But if you're not winning, all of you know this, you're not winning outside the classroom. We don't need to talk too much about this. You're not winning you can't run my offense if you can't do,
Yeah.
rocks for jocks kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So all that said, so now you're working through the grind of the season, especially once you get past December. January and February are long months.
Yes. So I've changed. I do many little roles and many little things. And this is some of the sheets that I do as far as goals and roles. And I tend to do this more after Christmas. Long-term, short-term, is it attainable? How are you going to do that? And it's different for the 14th guy on the bench than it is for the third. But I give them, starting in January, I tend to grade them every week. And we have a discussion. I go, hey, Billy, come here. You had a B this week, and here's your grade, and here's why. And I have some concrete things. I'm talking about how they're talking in practice. Are they hustling to the drills? Are they getting to class on time? Are they to our film sessions on time? Are they helping the teammates that don't know what's going on? Whatever we've come up with, something that I can see, something that I can chart and I can talk about. So I give them that second half, and everyone, I give them a scale. Sometimes I go from 1 to 10 scale, depending on the team. Sometimes I give them a letter grade, depending on how much leeway I need there. But I use some of these things to kind of use them as techniques to help them sit down. So over winter break, we tend to sit down and do some sort of goal setting, but I'm giving them back feedback. It's no different than me giving them a quiz. Their quiz is tests. Their quiz is homework. Mine is practice. Mine is film sessions. Mine is weight training. Mine is, the pre-practice. How are they doing on that? Mine is talking, some of the non-negotiables. And I want to give them feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So having those and not giving feedback seems silly to me.
Yeah.
Like, why are we having goals and roles if I'm not giving feedback? Mm-hmm. And these are some of the forms. They're very useful. They're good. I've used them for over 10 to 15 years. So I think you'll find them really helpful. And if you got questions on them, you can always shoot me an email and ask about them. But I want to respect everyone's time here too, Coach, with all this stuff.
Yeah. So to recap, framework 3 is injury management, balancing academics. All right. And then different motivation techniques. Keep your players engaged all season, especially when that grind. So